say that the most important type of cross training that's not done by runners is strength training. And when I say strength training, I mean really heavy strength training. 4 rep max, 6 rep max, 8 rep max at the most. This means if you're doing a strength training exercise, let's say a lunge, you can't do more than 8 of them. If you can do 20 body weight lunges, that's too light. You need to get hold of some dumbbells. You put 40-pound dumbbells in each hand and you can only do 10 of them, that's still not quite enough. You have to put 50-pound dumbbells in each hand, right? So we're talking heavy strength training. That is the most important type of cross training that I see that isn't done by runners. And the evidence for its benefits is very strong, particularly in other aspects or other sports like soccer and stuff like that. They've shown really massive reductions in injury risk. So we haven't seen that proven in running yet, or maybe not yet, maybe it won't happen, but it's enough evidence in my opinion to say strength training probably does have, heavy strength training probably does have a protective effect on runners. Running injuries are incredibly common. Strength training has other benefits in terms of health, longevity, and bone density, cardiovascular health, what do you call it? Like blood markers in terms of glucose, diabetes risk, that kind of stuff. So there's so many benefits to strength training that it's across the board, I'm happy to recommend it. The only thing is to be mindful of where it goes juxtaposed with a running workout. And the running workout takes priority, right? So if it's like, well, I've got hills on a Wednesday and that's really hard, so I can't do strength on a Tuesday, can't do heavy strength training. And when I say heavy strength training, particularly we're talking about the legs, the compound exercises, lunges, deadlift, calf raises, don't forget the calf, squats, that kind of stuff, like the basics. You're going to go heavy, but you can't do it on the Tuesday, because if you do, you'll be sore in your muscles on the Wednesday, and Wednesday is hill repeats, and you got to nail that one, right? So you're not allowed to do it on the Tuesday because it would have an effect on the Wednesday key running workout. Then it breaks rule number 1 of cross training, so you're not allowed to do it. So what you could do though, if you had no running workout on the Thursday, or you just had a recovery run after your hills, then you could do your recovery run and then do the strength training. And the fact that the strength training wouldn't be perfect because you just done the Wednesday key workout on the hills and you've already done a recovery run and you're a little bit tired, that's okay, because your goal is not to get super strong. Your goal is to avoid injury and to get fit enough in running to do your event. So I would say you're always going to prioritize the running training, but we're going to try and include the strength training. And if I was going to say what's ideal, it's probably 2 to 3 strength sessions a week. What is realistic for me is that's too much for me personally, but it's not for everybody. So a lot of people will do that amount of strength training quite happily, and that doesn't have a detrimental effect on their free time or their running training. So what I do personally is I do 0 to 1 strength training in the summer or the in season, right? And I do 1 to 3 strength training sessions a week in the winter. And what I do in the winter is I set myself a goal of trying to get my deadlift or my squat to a certain weight, and I go really hard for 3 to 6 months on the strength. And then in the summer I just think, you know what, I'm strong enough now, I want to enjoy my summer. I'm gonna bike ride, I'm gonna swim, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna go hiking. Because I'm not a pro, I'm not going to worry too much about the fact that I'm going to lose some strength during the summer months. That's me personally. If you really have a big problem with injury, or if you really find that that beating a PR, or achieving a new goal in a race is really important, then you might want to be more strict than that, more diligent with your strength training throughout the year. But I would still say that you want to sort of fluctuate. When you have the sort of in season, you want a bit less strength, and when you have out of season, a bit more strength. So it might not fluctuate as severely as mine does, but I would still say a fluctuation there is beneficial, because it's very hard to focus on getting very strong in the gym when you're focusing on trying to hit peak performance fitness leading up to a race. So that's how I'd suggest introducing strength training. And then